Oklahoma State is home to more than 1,000 international students.
This week on Pete's Corner, we're going to take a look at all of the cultural organizations that OSU has to offer.
Welcome back to Pete's Corner. I'm Emily Wickman.
And I'm Parker Terrell.
International students can partner with American students through Cowboy Cousins. Piper Reese takes a look into how this organization can help students from all areas learn about each other's cultures.
Oklahoma State University is home to over 25,000 students that come from all over the world. International students come to America for their college education and may not know what to expect. Cowboy Cousins helps bridge that gap. Cowboy Cousins is under the Student Government Association here on campus. It is a mentor program for international students to introduce them to the Stillwater and the OSU community. Austin Lucas is a senior here at OSU studying industrial engineering and management. Lucas was curious about how people navigated college through different cultures and joined Cowboy Cousins. He says he enjoyed his experience during his time in the organization.
It's just really cool to just hang out with people that are a little bit different from yourself, and also just learn how actually similar that all people are, I guess.
This year looks a little bit different with COVID-19. With its large membership, it's been hard for Cowboy Cousins to host in-person events. Through the semester, they've been hosting trivia nights through Zoom and also been encouraging their members to interact with each other throughout the semester. Cowboy Cousins Director Cooper Degner has changed up the organization this year. She has been having the members go to cultural events hosted by other student organizations. She says it was to change the focus of Cowboy Cousins.
International student here for you, but also it'd be a mutual learning experience about each other's cultures and stuff, because I feel like that hadn't been emphasized as much in the past.
Cowboy Cousins plans to have their first in-person event for their members next week. They will be required to wear masks and stay socially distant. To get involved with Cowboy Cousins, you can email them at sga_cowboys_cousins@okstate.edu. For Pete's Corner, I'm Piper Reese.
Thanks, Piper. Cowboy Cousins is a great way for students to stay connected no matter where they're from.
We've talked about how American students can get to know international students, but what about each other? The International Student Organization oversees all international clubs on campus. Kristen Trujillo has more.
Being inclusive is something that all college campuses should make a priority through their schools. One way that colleges are able to represent and celebrate different cultures on campus is through different clubs and organizations. At Oklahoma State, the International Student Organization is the foundation for those clubs and organizes over 20 different clubs that represent different cultures around the world.
The idea of the organization is to give our international constituency representation here on campus and a place for them to be able to express their cultures, their opinions, their ideas, everything in a positive format.
The ISO represents over 1,700 international students from more than 100 countries around the world. They provide an organized body so that these students can promote social and cultural exchanges between international students and the community here on campus.
Not only is the ISO providing the foundation for these clubs, but they also hold year-round events so that our students can learn and appreciate different cultures.
The ISO also holds approximately 8 events throughout the year. They are always encouraging not only the international community to attend, but all students, staff, and faculty, as well as anyone in the Stillwater community who wants to come and learn.
I think it's really important to hold those events at campus to give people in the United States here a clearer idea about who we are and how different our culture and beautiful is.
Bringing closer relations between international students, faculty, and the student body is something that is very important for us as a community. If you want to educate yourself on different cultures and learn how they are represented and celebrated, the ISO is the place to do that. For Pete's Corner, I am Kristen Trujillo.
Along with all the great international organizations that students have at their disposal, Okie State also offers many cultural organizations. When we get back, we're going to take a look at how they can make a difference on campus.
Because of Cass, I'm more confident behind the camera.
Because of Cass, I have found lifelong friends and amazing mentors.
Because of Cass, I will be able to teach English in Cambodia with the Peace Corps.
Because of Cass, I had the opportunity to intern on Capitol Hill.
Because of Cass, I got to sing at the Vatican.
Because of Cass, I was able to present my research and I won a scholarship for it.
Because of Cass, I'm Miss Black OSU.
Because of Cass, I can help someone else find their voice.
Because of Cass, I'm able to not only have 1, but 2 internships for the summer lined up already.
Because of Cass, I am confident in leadership positions.
Because of Cass, I'm excited for my future and the opportunities I have within my major.
Because of Cass, I can do it, and so can you.
When everything is on the line, one person can change the game. One swing of the bat, one perfect pass, one leaping catch. In the most important moments, one play, one person can make the difference. This is your moment. Your opportunity to change the game for our student athletes. Will you sit on the sidelines? Or will you be a game changer? Join the posse today. Call 405-744-7301 or log on to okstateposse.com. Be a game changer.
I've had a lifetime of little sweet pieces of special. And I just want them to know I love them.
The Cancer Center at Stillwater Medical, the heart of cancer care.
Welcome back to Pete's Corner. Over quarantine, you may have seen a social media movement to remove the name Murray Hall on our campus. Kelsey Housam took a look into how Multicultural Affairs Committee had an important part in the process to remove the name.
The names of the buildings on Oklahoma State's campus hold a great deal of history we may not know the depth of. Today, we get to hear from the director of the Multicultural Affairs Committee, Jaden Powell, and Rachel Davidson, a member of the committee, about how their organization has helped make a difference on Oklahoma State's campus.
And this is something students have been fighting for so long. So we did not start this, we just helped it along. But we tabled for Murray Hall, and it's named after a former governor who has a book that we actually checked out from the Oklahoma State Library, and we tabled with that book.
Jaden Powell, her committee, and many other students believed that this man did not represent the character and the moral values of Oklahoma State.
And in that book, he has a lot of racist and anti-Semitic sentiments. He even talks about the pseudoscience of weighing the brain and saying that white brains were superior because of their weight.
In the past years, many bills have passed through the Senate saying they wanted Murray Hall renamed. Yet it wasn't until the Multicultural Affairs Committee, OK State Stand United, and the student body came together that this was completed.
I didn't realize also how long Murray Hall was being, it's been going for at least 6 years. If you go on change.org, there has been a thing about Murray Hall on there for 6 to 8 years before I became a part of the committee.
Next to me shows a video of where Murray Hall once was. Yes, it is the same building, but the name will never be hung again.
But I think tabling, and we had people fill out a survey, and we had over 600 replies, and a lot of them said that they didn't know that. So I've seen my committee spread information on that.
With the help of the Multicultural Affairs Committee, the student body president created an act about changing the name of Murray Hall. Resolutions were passed through the Senate, and then the president of SGA pushed it forward to administration. Once it was completed, it was a very emotional celebration for everyone involved. For Pete's Corner, I'm Kelsey Housam.
Thanks, Kelsey. The Multicultural Affairs Committee continues to work with other cultural organizations across campus to make sure that the entire Cowboy voice is heard.
Since 1987, OSU students have been able to embrace their culture and develop social and academic skills through the Hispanic Student Association. I got the chance to see what this organization is all about and how these students' culture is represented on campus.
For 42 years, the Hispanic Student Association has been a source for students to create friendships and connect through their culture. As HSA's Vice President, Jeffrey Perez has been able to experience firsthand the inclusive environment HSA creates and how they value their members from all Hispanic backgrounds.
Yeah, so with a lot of the events, we try to be inclusive as possible, try to emphasize that we accept all cultures, not only Mexican, just because that's what's really predominant in the United States. But we often try to recognize Dominican, Venezuelan, just all the other South American and Central American countries that tie in with us, and we just. Especially when it comes to our events, we try to have a little bit of culture from each part of the world.
One of the ways that makes the Hispanic Student Association such an influential organization on this campus is their academic integrity and their love for community. Some of the past events that HSA has put on are reggaeton dance parties, movie nights, and the well-known Mr. and Mrs. Hispanic Latino Scholarship Pageant. With over 400 members, HSA makes sure that all of their activities stay true to Hispanic tradition. I got the chance to speak with new member Andrea Lara Zolo, who understands the importance of these events and how it keeps the culture alive.
Being in college and having an organization like the HSA is important because it is very much like being at home. It's kind of that comfort at home where when you're around all your family and stuff, you always have parties, you always have events, you got to go do this, do that, meet all these people, and keep the culture alive with your family. So if you go away to college and having that organization is very much like being home. Like it's not exactly the same as like going home, but it still kind of fulfills that need of like homesickness.
The relationships created within this organization have made these students' experience at OSU more personal and shown them that behind different national origins or ethnic heritages, there is unity and power. For Pete's Corner, I'm Emily Wickman.
For more information on this association, visit campuslink.okstate.edu.
Another minority population here at OSU is the Asian Americans. When we come back, we're going to take a look at what makes the Asian American and Chinese culture unique here in Stillwater. Welcome back to Pete's Corner. This week, Mason Harbor looked into the Asian American Student Organization, as well as the special partnership that OSU has with the university in Chengdu, China.
Oklahoma State University has dedicated itself to increasing its institutional diversity in recent years, particularly with Chinese and Asian American students.
In 2008, OSU and Southwest Jiaotong University agreed to a reciprocal exchange program. The program has allowed dozens of Chinese students to come to OSU and learn under the Agricultural College.
On the flip side, many OSU students have traveled to China with the program.
So we have a really good exchange program with some universities in China. And so they were like, let's send a teacher. So I was one of the second that they sent from the English department to teach just a regular English composition class at one of the universities.
OSU also has an Asian American Student Association that attends conferences around the country and brings awareness to Asian American issues while also giving back to the Stillwater community. The organization also meets on several Asian holidays to celebrate their culture. The organization gives Asian American students an opportunity to meet other students who share similar experiences and cultures.
Student organization does a great job of presenting those culture events open to the entire campus. So for Chinese student organization, they celebrate the largest event they do is the Chinese New Year celebration, which they call China Night. Normally about 200 some students or faculty and staff from the campus, even the community, would join the celebration. It's a great way to celebrate a different culture on campus.
The Student Association also helps with the annual Mr. and Miss Asian OSU Scholarship Pageant, which was started in 2010 and began offering scholarships to the winners in 2015 and 16. Also, an increasing amount of the Chinese exchange program students have taken part in the pageant in recent years. From the Foreign Exchange Program to the Student Association, or even the OSU Asian Pageant, there are many places for Asian students to celebrate their culture on campus. For Pete's Corner, I'm Mason Harbor.
Thanks, Mason. Emily, I had no idea that OSU had so many connections around the world.
Me neither. It's so great to be part of a university that prioritizes diversity so much. Next, we'll look at an organization that equips and connects Black students. Marcus Trevino has more.
The Oklahoma State African American Student Association, or AfroAm, aims to promote the cultural heritage of African American students. They want to empower students by supporting productive relationships in the OSU and Stillwater communities. AfroAm President Latayla Dean says the organization provides a space for Black identity and expression on campus.
I just wanted to bring a different atmosphere to the African American community. I saw like a lot of them, like they usually just didn't really come to the community, like they would just kind of standoffish. And with us being at the PWI, it's really important for us to get together and be able to like come together and do things together as well. So.
In wake of the cancellation of OSU Centennial Homecoming, AfroAm hosted a karaoke and treat event at Couch Park on Friday. Vice President Madison Kemper says they wanted to uplift spirits in the middle of a grueling semester.
We wanted to do something for the community, and we wanted to put on an event, and it was Halloween weekend, so we said, let's put on a trunk or treat carnival event, spooky kind of theme for the people in the OSU community because they weren't getting a homecoming this year.
But AfroAm didn't host the event for the sole purpose of having fun on Halloween weekend. They did it to promote the organization's most important function, community service. Saturday, members will volunteer at the Stillwater Habitat for Humanity, building homes for people in need, and reminding us that communities are stronger together. For Pete's Corner, I'm Marcus Trevino.
Thanks, Marcus. Diversity like that is crucial for a well-rounded campus.
When we get back, we're going to take a look at 2 more opportunities that OSU students have to immerse themselves in other cultures.
What is it about Oklahoma State?
This place is special.
Believe me, I know. It's my home.
I've spent more of my life at OSU than away from it.
So here's what I can tell you.
There's just something about Oklahoma State.
We've had some pretty remarkable people pass through these walls.
People like Henry Ivan, Ed Gallagher,
Robin Ventura, and
Barry Sanders.
I could go on and on about our All-Americans,
our national champions,
and our Hall of Famers. You could say the people are what make this place special, and you'd be correct.
But it goes beyond the people.
There's something else about Stillwater that attracts greatness.
Maybe it's the hard work that all of us have put in during our time here to make something of ourselves.
Maybe it's the trials we've endured as a family.
We've been tested in ways that most people cannot understand.
Yet we never waver
in who we are
and what we believe in.
We've proven we can win at the highest level.
But winning isn't the only reason why people choose Oklahoma State.
It's more than that.
Our fans don't just cheer for the Cowboys.
They are the Cowboys.
The culture here is bigger than all of us.
It means something to be a Cowboy.
It's the values OSU stands for.
The values of being loyal and true.
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 Welcome back to Pete's Corner. OSU has many different clubs on campus where students can learn a new international language. Savannah Sundberg caught up with the French Club, where students can learn to further their linguistic and cultural knowledge.
When you think of French Club, you probably think it is centered around students practicing the French language. And you would be right, but there is more to French Club than just speaking a foreign language. The French Club also finds ways to incorporate French culture into their meetings. Ashlyn Amador is the president of the French Club, who explains what kind of fun things they do in the club.
A lot of the things we do are oriented towards French culture. Like we'll make crepes. I think it's a great way for students who speak French, or even just have an interest in French culture, to connect with each other, because it's a small group of people in Stillwater who speak French. So it's a good way for them to come together and share their interest and practice learning French.
French Club helps foster diversity on campus. It creates a place for students to learn about a culture that is completely new to them. French Club also offers a place to socialize for international students from the many French-speaking countries around the world. L'Oreal Prema is a French professor here at OSU, as well as an advisor for the French Club.
Because French speakers are really all over the world, you get a very diverse group of French speakers coming from, Africa, coming from Asia, coming from Europe, obviously, Canada. So I think that the French language, because it has so many touch points all around the globe, can help people just make a connection with those people. And I think it opens up the door to allowing our students who do French Club to be a little bit more motivated to do that on their own.
The French Club is a great resource on campus, not only for students to learn a new language, but dive into the French culture and learn about lifestyles different from their own. It is also a great way for international students to learn more about American culture from Oklahoma State University's French-speaking students. For Pete's Corner, I'm Savannah Sundberg.
Bonjour and merci. How was that?
Sounds good to me. Now I want to learn French. Speaking of things you may not know, sorority and fraternity houses on Greek Row aren't the only Greek life options OSU has to offer. Oklahoma State has several multicultural-based fraternities and sororities.
The Multicultural Greek Council is making an impact all across campus. It was established at Oklahoma State University to meet the needs of the ethnic fraternities and sororities that were not being met by the fraternity and sorority community prior to its establishment.
It was created to represent the groups of fraternities and sororities that didn't have a place within the Pan-Atlantic Council and the NPHC Council and the IFC Council. So since their bylaws and guidance didn't fit those organizations, they created something of their own, the way they can have a governed body and be represented on campus. And from that, we've grown.
Sam Davis, a member of Omega Delta Phi, shares what his chapter is doing to create change on campus.
On the exec board, and I've worked with Pan-Atlantic, the Pan-Atlantic Council, IFC Council, and National Pan-Atlantic. And there's a movement for change, like among all the councils, like all the councils want to work together. So that's a great environment to be a part of. And to be able to keep that environment and pass it along to the next exec team was a great opportunity.
The Office of Fraternity and Sorority Affairs is located inside the Student Union, but you can also connect with them online by going to okstate.edu/gogreek. Liliana Delator, a member of Sigma Lambda Alpha, shares her experience and why she chose to join MGC.
So, whenever I was a freshman, I didn't really want to join any Greek sorority or anything because I wasn't really attracted to it, nor I didn't feel like I fit in or anything. When I was introduced to MGC, I realized I could be reconnected with my roots and stay connected with my Hispanic roots. And so that's why I joined Sigma Lambda Alpha Sorority Incorporated.
For Pete's Corner, I'm Hartley Best.
We hope you've enjoyed seeing all of the different opportunities that cowboys and cowgirls have on campus to express their cultural identity. That's all for this week. For Pete's Corner, I'm Parker Terrell.
And I'm Emily Wickman. Have a good evening.
Au revoir.